Hello and welcome back, I'm Sean, and today we're checking out a new budget-friendly ANC earbuds from Moondrop, and I think it's worth checking out. So let's check it out. So starting with what I love about these earbuds is the battery indicator on the case. So I know it's simple, but the 3 levels, there's actually 3 different LEDs inside here, and that 3-level LED blended into one just makes it really easy to know how much battery you have without guessing. And secondly, being a Moondrop product, sound quality you get with these earbuds is really good and sounds really nice as well, and we'll talk about sound quality later on. And you also get wireless charging with this case. So you can see that Thunder design at the back here is actually a wireless charging case. So super convenient, you just put this onto the charger and use your earbuds. So this earbuds, also being a Moondrop earbuds, also gets a THD or total harmonics distortion rating of less than or equal to 0.1%, which means you're getting really low and almost unnoticeable distortion. And battery life is also decent, not the best in its class, but you still do get 6 hours per charge with 15 hours with the case with ANC off. And with ANC on, you should get roughly 4.5 to 5 hours with 10 hours from the case. So this also depends on the volume that you listen to. So speaking of volume, this earbuds is also really good and gives you great volume, and we'll talk a little bit about that later on as well. And finally, you do get good chipsets here with this, with a Bluetooth 5.4 chipset supporting LC3, AAC and SBC. So there are also areas that I think these earbuds could do better, and first of all is that wear detection. So which works great, don't get me wrong. When you take it out, it does turn off ANC as well as pause your audio. So when you put the earbuds back into your ears, it's supposed to toggle ANC on again, but it's actually not doing that. So I think this could be resolved in a future firmware update. Secondly, it's the buggy Moondrop Link 2.0 app here, and I really have no luck with connecting it to my iOS. I did it once, and after that it just keeps spinning. But for Android it works alright, but I noticed that my changes don't get registered on my earbuds, and every time I go back into the setting it just resets, so it's quite frustrating. So I think that needs to be addressed as well. So there also isn't any multi-point connectivity on these earbuds, and again, like most Moondrop earbuds, no water resistant rating around here. So if that said, these earbuds comes in at a very budget-friendly price of $50 US or around 210 Malaysian ringgit, which is pretty good deal if you ask me for an ANC earbuds that works great and sounds great as well. And if you find value in what you hear and like what you see, I hope you can subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so that YouTube algorithm can pick this up. And if you want to buy these earbuds, do check out my links below. So let's talk about the sound that you get with these earbuds, and I'll give credit when it's due, and I think Moondrop is excellent with their tuning, and this earbuds just generates all the frequencies almost to the point that you think you're listening to reference IEMs. And you get a very wide frequency band. I think they managed to make the earbuds sound good in a very wide spectrum. So note that everything I'm testing now is on the standard EQ, and from a bass perspective, you're going to get a very high quality bass thumb. It does a very good job in rendering sub-bass thumbs from songs like Doing It Right by Daft Punk, and you hear them clearly, but you just feel that it could be a little deeper. Mid-bass has a very beautiful hum, which I really like as well. So if I were to say something about the bass notes, I think it could be deeper. So the mid vocals here is very present and sounds a tad bit forward in the entire soundstage, making you feel like you're in the presence of the artist itself. So the overall mid-range frequency doesn't sound or feel muffled or distorted or muted, especially for an earbuds at this price point. Having great vocals does bring out a lot of the earbuds and gives it a very powerful sounding sound signature. So finally, in the highs department, and I must applaud Moondrop for giving the earbuds beautiful sounding highs, sparkles absolutely beautifully, and I do listen to some Chinese songs by Jay Chou, for example, and it has a lot of sparkly background traditional instruments, and I think these earbuds plays them really well, giving it just a beautiful amount of sparkle without it sounding overly sharp or annoying. So job well done here, Moondrop, for the sound signature. So this is a test to see if the Moondrop Moca is a good earbuds for making phone calls. So this is me speaking in a relatively quiet environment, and this is the call quality that you can expect. So what I'm going to do now is to turn on a simulated background noise so you can hear a difference. So now there's a simulated background noise playing in the background, and this is the call quality that you can expect from these earbuds. So what do you think of the call quality? Let me know in the comment section down below. So let's talk about the design and build of these earbuds. And so for a $50 earbuds, I'm not expecting it to have premium materials, and as long as it's made with decent quality, I'm actually fine with it. So here you get a grey case here, and from a design standpoint, very basic, simple case from Moondrop. And at the front here, at the bottom corner, you see a small cat logo with the Mocha branding there, which also reads Moondrop ANC TWS. At the front of the case is also a simple LED array with 3 LEDs that tells you the battery level of the case. And at the back of the the case, you also see the wireless charging branding there. So just lay this down on its back and it'll start charging wirelessly. So the bottom of the case is also a Type-C port, very nicely designed with a silver trim, and also a nice orange Bluetooth button that pops really well with a fully grey case. And you can also use this button to check the battery level of the case. So not sure if you can see here, but the top and the bottom of the case actually has a concave design slightly in the middle. And when you open the lid, this is where I find the case to be feeling a little bit cheaply made. You get a click at the top here, so it sounds something like that. And I know that this is a clutch system to hold the lid up, but it does make you feel like you're using the case a little rough. And inside you do get your typical AirPods Pro style design. The earbuds here, very simple stem style design with the cat and the LED at the bottom here. So the good news here is that you get an in-ear sensor with these earbuds, but I noticed that every time you take it out from your ears, it turns on transparency and pauses the media, but when you put it back into your ears, media plays, but the ANC doesn't get toggled on again. So probably needs to be fixed in future firmware. So overall, a very basic plastic design along with plastic ear guides as well. So volume on the Moondrop Moca is fantastic, and I got to a comfortable listening volume at only 25% volume, and moving upwards of 70% feels loud, and I still have a lot of volume and power to spare. So 100% is definitely extremely loud for me, and I would advise not listening to volume at this level to protect your ears. So let's talk a little bit about the Moondrop app. And with the Moca, you're now connected using the Moondrop Link 2.0 app, and for most of my tests in the past, this app works fine, but with the Moca, I found the app is extremely unstable. On my iPhone, I only managed to access the app once, and I never managed to connect again. It just keeps spinning and failed to enter into the settings of the app. So with Android, it's better and I can enter it, but most times when toggling around things like ANC, it doesn't change anything as well. So every time you go back to the settings, it gets resets, and I think the earbud still needs optimization with the app. Anyways, from the homepage here, there isn't any battery percentage, and under ANC, you get to choose between transparency, noise cancelling, or close. And below that, you also get to toggle what do you want to cycle through the ANC, which is very convenient, and I will typically only need ANC on as well as transparency. And under function settings, you get to adjust the gain settings between high, medium, and low. You also get to toggle whether or not to turn on LC3, sensor settings, as well as the LED on the earbuds. So below that, you can also tune the EQ of the earbuds, and you also get 5 different EQs to choose from here, which 3 are bass related. And you get to also remap your touch controls, and here again on Moondrop, you are adjusting the gesture rather than the action. So finally, you also get to update the firmware of your earbuds. And one thing I would like to comment here, if Moondrop is watching, the fonts used here is just too small. Either that or I'm getting older and it's really quite hard to read, so maybe a larger font will be great. So being a LAKEY successor, I think Moondrop improved the ANC on these earbuds dramatically, and it's now leaps and bounds better than a LAKEY and is on par to be as good as some of the top tier ANC earbuds on the market. So with the low humming noise test, blasting the airplane cabin noise and road noise test, I learned that this earbuds does a really great job for cancelling them, especially when you press and toggle the ANC on while being in that particular environment, so that it's reading that environment in real time. So with soft music playing, it almost virtually removes all the airplane cabin noise, and I can only feel the vibration on my desk, but I cannot hear the sound, which is very impressive. And with the cafe noise test or human chatters test, it does a good job lowering the volume down, but you still get to hear some of it coming through. So this earbud does a really good job at cancelling low humming noises, but human chatters, good, but not as good. When it comes to transparency mode, the Moca makes it feel like the earbuds is fully open, like you're not wearing any earbuds. You don't get that amplified superhuman feeling, but you can still hear your surroundings pretty well. Wind noise with these earbuds is controlled okay well, but at the slightly higher wind situations, I can hear the buffering quite obviously. And with that, I'm giving the Moondrop Moca the highest ANC score I've given to a Moondrop earbuds at 8.9 out of 10, followed by a close second with the Moondrop Golden Ages. The latency on these earbuds is pretty good, even without gaming mode turned on, but with gaming mode turned on, you're likely not going to experience any latency with games like PUBG and will perform really well with movies and videos. Anyways, let's take a look at the latency performance of these earbuds. Overall, I'm really happy with this release and great job for Moondrop in making the important things work great. Yes, the app is a little bit buggy and I also wish there would be just a slightly longer battery life, but what's most important to me here is that it sounds great and ANC performance is great as well. So if you want to check out one of Moondrop's nicer creation, you definitely need to check out the Moondrop Golden Ages right over here, and I'll see you right over at that video.